The savanna trembles with heat. A band of Australopithecus afarensis crouches low in the tall grass, their ribs sharp beneath stretched skin, their eyes hollow with hunger. A female grips a crude stone, her knuckles pale, while two males flank her, clutching sharpened sticks. Ahead, a wounded antelope limps, its breath ragged, its flank torn open by some unseen predator. The tribe surges forward, driven by desperation. The chase is short but furious. Stones fly, one striking the animal's shoulder. A male lunges, jamming his spear into its side. The antelope collapses in a frenzy of dust, hooves, and blood. The tribe swarms it, teeth and hands tearing, children clawing for scraps of warm flesh. For a brief, savage moment, silence is broken only by the wet sound of feeding. But victory sours quickly. A deep growl rumbles from the thorny brush. Yellow eyes flicker. A lioness, muscles taut, advances with slow, lethal grace. The hominids freeze, blood dripping from their chins. Then chaos erupts. Mothers snatch up children, bolting toward the river. Males fling stones and branches, shrieking, pounding the earth in fury. The lioness charges. One male thrusts his spear, grazing her flank, buying seconds. The tribe scatters, abandoning the half-eaten carcass. The lioness seizes it in her jaws, dragging it away, while the band vanishes into the savanna haze. Hunger remains. They regroup at a dry riverbed, panting, their bodies trembling with exhaustion. The oldest female kneels, scraping the earth with her hands. Dust, no water. The tribe moans, lips cracked, skin blistered by the relentless sun. A child collapses, eyes rolling back. His mother lifts him, cradling him against her chest, rocking with muted desperation. The band knows they must move on, beyond the land they have always known. The migration begins. Step by step, barefoot and limping, they push across the barren plains. Vultures circle overhead. The injured male from the hunt stumbles, blood dripping from a gash in his arm. Another presses leaves against it, wrapping it tight with sinew, but the wound festers. Flies swarm. He trudges on, leaning against his kin. At dusk, the air shifts. A storm brews, the sky bruised purple, the wind thrashing the grass into waves. The band quickens their pace, searching for shelter. Thunder cracks, and rain lashes down in torrents, soaking their fur, turning dust to sucking mud. Lightning scorches the sky, splitting a tree ablaze in the distance. Panic seizes them. The storm is fire, water, and death at once. They scramble up a rocky rise, huddling beneath an overhang as the storm consumes the savanna. Children scream against the thunder, mothers pressing hands over their ears, bodies pressed tight against one another until at last the storm passes. The world in the morning is transformed. The plains glitter with water. Streams rush where once there was only dust. The tribe drinks greedily, plunging their faces into the flood. Relief surges through them, but it is short-lived. On the opposite bank, another band of hominids emerges, their silhouettes dark against the rising sun. Rival eyes meet. Both tribes are gaunt, both driven by the same hunger. Stones are lifted, branches raised. The standoff breaks in a blur of violence. Shrieks pierce the air as stones crack against skulls. One male is struck, collapsing in mud, his weapon ripped from his hands. Females clutch children and flee behind the fighters. Blood sprays as a sharpened bone shard slashes across an attacker's cheek. The river churns with bodies, struggling, grappling, drowning in foam. Then, as suddenly as it began, the rival tribe breaks, retreating into the tall grass, leaving behind one of their fallen. The victors stand, heaving with rage and exhaustion, blood streaking their limbs. They drag the body of their enemy from the water. Hunger devours hesitation. Flesh is torn, marrow sucked, survival consuming morality. Children watch with wide eyes as their elders feast on the vanquished. In this world, survival is the only law. But the savanna has more trials still. The band marches on, following the scent of damp earth and distant greenery. Hours stretch into days. At last, the grass thins, revealing a valley alive with herds of wildebeest and zebra. Food. Life. Promise. The tribe stares, their eyes wide, their bodies quivering with hope. But between them and the valley lies a gauntlet, a narrow ravine choked with boulders, shadowed by cliffs. They enter cautiously, stones in hand. The air is heavy, unnervingly silent. A sudden hiss breaks the stillness. A python, thick as a tree trunk, uncoils from the rocks. It strikes, fangs sinking into the arm of a young female. She shrieks, thrashing. The band swarms, hurling stones, jabbing spears, slamming rocks onto the serpent's skull until it shatters. The girl trembles, poison coursing through her veins. Her mother chews bitter herbs, pressing the pulp into the wound, binding it tight with grass. She lives, but weak, barely clinging to life. The tribe emerges from the ravine, battered but alive. Before them, the valley opens like a promise, rich with water and prey. They collapse at its edge, drinking, gathering berries, hunting small animals. For the first time in many days, laughter echoes faintly. Children splashing in the stream, females cracking nuts against stone, males sharpening sticks for the hunt. Night falls. A fire crackles, born from embers carried carefully from a lightning-struck tree. The band gathers close, warmth washing over their weary bodies. Smoke curls into the sky, mingling with stars. The injured are tended, children cradled, food shared. In the glow, their eyes gleam with something beyond hunger, resolve. They have crossed fire and storm, faced lions, rivals, and serpents. They have lost blood, but not hope. In their scars lies the story of survival, carved into the earth itself. At dawn, they will rise again, stepping deeper into new lands. Together, for in unity they endure, and in endurance they carry the first ember of what will one day become humanity.